If I had to start my YouTube channel all over again in 2025, I'd do a lot of things differently. Looking back, I wasted so much time, made avoidable mistakes, and overlooked things that actually matter when growing a channel. But to be fair, they were also things that I just wasn't aware of until I found out the hard way or until someone guided me. So whether you're just getting started on YouTube or you've been at this for a while, this is what I wish I knew and what I would have done instead all those years back. When I first started, I thought the best videos came from having the latest and greatest camera, the best microphones, and making sure everything looked perfect, even down to the cinematic B-roll that everyone seemed to be doing at the time. I aspired to that, thinking that would make my videos stand out and make people want to watch. But that's just not what makes people take notice and engage. The real key is storytelling, making videos that actually connect with people, make people feel something. And that doesn't have to be the once upon a time type of stories, which is another thing that I was slow to realise. Stories can come in different forms based on the specific message you want to share. So if I was starting in 2025, I'd focus less on whether I had the best camera or the latest camera, and I'd spend more time figuring out how to tell engaging stories and just work on my hooks. There's a lot of pressure to post as much as possible, and you start to wonder whether you're doing enough. And the same question comes up, should you focus on being consistent or focus on quality? But I've learned that it's better to upload consistently, not constantly. Consistency means showing up when you can in the same way. It doesn't mean putting pressure on yourself to upload as many videos as possible in a week. Burning out is bad for your health, and it can end up leading you to quit, which is heartbreaking if this is something you genuinely enjoy and want to do. At one point, I thought if I could just keep the momentum of creating video after video, as soon as I finished one, get straight to work on the other one, that growth would happen quicker. And while there's some truth to that, if you're also improving your skills along the way, it's also a surefire way to lead to burnout. And I've been there. So if I was starting over, I'd focus on posting one great video a week, rather than stressing myself out trying to post multiple videos in a week. And if you think about it, if you're posting one video a week, that's still 52 videos in a year. And that's no small feat. One thing I didn't really think about when I started my online presence was my personal life outside of YouTube. I mean, I kind of thought about it in the sense of not sharing my personal life online. I've never really done that publicly, but I wasn't really thinking about all the other ways that my information could end up out there. Things like where I film or when I was setting up my business using different addresses. When you're just starting out, it doesn't seem like a big deal, or it's not even something that you really consider. But as you grow, you realise just how much of your personal information is out there, even if you've never shared it publicly before. Data brokers sell your information without you realising, just from you shopping online or signing up to services, or even entering competitions and giveaways. And removing yourself would take hours if you knew where to look, and even then, they'd just add you back later. So about 6 months ago, I started using Incogni, which basically does all this for you. You just enter the details you want them to track, like emails, addresses, and they contact these companies to get your data removed and suppressed so that they don't keep ending up in these databases. When I looked at my reports, I was genuinely shocked at how many companies had my information, companies I never even gave my details to in the first place. And this isn't just bad for spam, it can lead to things like fraud, scams, identity theft, and even affecting your credit rating. So if you're even slightly worried about what information is out there about you and how it's being passed around and how it's being used, it's definitely worth checking out Incogni. I've dropped a link in the description, and with the code Tamara Gabriel, you can get an exclusive 60% off an annual plan when you're ready to start the process of getting your personal details removed from these databases. Another big thing that I do differently is stop overthinking everything, every little detail. When I started, I wasted so much time trying to make everything perfect. Every shot had to be perfect. Every video had to be perfect. If I made a mistake during a talking head, I'd reshoot the entire section. Sometimes I'd reshoot entire videos if I just wasn't comfortable with the fact that it wasn't on point. The reality is you get better by actually doing, not obsessing over every single little detail. If you know that something isn't quite how you would have wanted it to be, that's fine to acknowledge. And nowadays, instead of actually obsessing about whether something's perfect or not, I just think, okay, that didn't go as planned, but next time I'll do it differently. I'll do it like this instead. Trying to be perfect has actually had me not post videos in the past, videos that I'd spent days making. And when I look back on that, I just think that is completely bonkers. So if I was starting again in 2025, I would hit publish sooner and just learn as I go instead of trying to wait until I was better or until I thought things were perfect. At the end of the day, perfection is just an illusion. It doesn't really exist. When I reflect on my older videos, I look at them and I realise that a lot of them didn't really go anywhere. They didn't have a clear reason for people to keep watching or be interested in watching them in the first place. I didn't give people a reason to care. So if I started over, or even today really, this is something that I try to make sure that I do. It's make sure every video has a purpose, whether it's helping people solve a problem, sharing a useful tip or a bit of information, just anything to give viewers a reason to want to watch. I don't particularly class myself as being entertaining, and if that's not you either, then there are different ways that you can actually provide value. Helping people solve problems or overcome challenges can be quite a powerful reason for someone to want to watch your videos. And I also just want to reiterate that if you are just starting out, just don't overcomplicate things, just start making videos and just improve and get better over time. If you wait until your skills allow you to get to the point where you feel ready to make videos, then you could just be waiting years and years and years and realise that you haven't actually made one video yet. So the time to start is now.